Welcome back to ABC English Story, where we explore the depths of human experience and find inspiration in the most unexpected places. Today, we delve into a tale that speaks to the quiet strength found amidst life's most profound betrayals. It's a story about a woman named Martha, a daughter named Amy, and the unbreakable bond they forged when their world was shaken. Martha was a nurse in Houston, her days long and often tiring, but her spirit was brightened by the simple joy of her 7-year-old daughter, Amy. Their life seemed ordinary, filled with the comfortable rhythm of a loving family. Bill, Martha's husband and Amy's father, completed their picture of suburban happiness. They were, by all accounts, an ideal family, balancing work and raising their bright little girl. But sometimes, the picture we paint of our lives hides cracks that only time reveals. One day, the harmony shattered. Bill announced that his mother, Carol, was ill and needed him. He would move to Austin to care for her. Martha, with her nurse's heart, immediately understood, offering to help as a family. But Bill refused, citing his mother's fragile health and need for a quiet environment. His tone was firm, almost agitated. Martha and Amy were family too, weren't they? Bill softened slightly, assuring them it was a temporary arrangement, just for a short time. However, a month stretched into endless weeks, and Bill's visits became rare, his messages brief and distant. Martha felt a cold anxiety creep into her heart. Her daughter missed her daddy, and Martha herself began to feel the sharp pang of a growing distance. One afternoon, Martha confided in her good friend and colleague, Karen. Karen, a woman of sharp intuition, listened carefully. "Something seems off," Karen observed, her words like a stone dropped into Martha's troubled thoughts. "If it's just caregiving, why keep you and Amy away? There are other options, professional caregivers." Martha's doubts, once faint whispers, grew into a roaring question in her mind. That evening, as Amy innocently asked about her daddy again, Martha made a bold decision. "Amy," she said, "how about we go visit Daddy and Grandma as a surprise?" Amy's face lit up, a beacon in Martha's growing uncertainty. The trip, planned for the upcoming weekend, was presented as a joyous reunion, but Martha's heart held a mix of anticipation and a deepening suspicion. She packed gifts, a watch Bill had wanted, and Carol's favorite tea. Outwardly, it was a gesture of love. Inwardly, it was a quest for truth. Why was Bill keeping them away? Why had he changed? The drive to Austin was long, 3 hours stretching across the vast Texas plains. Amy sang happily in the back seat, her innocence a painful contrast to Martha's churning thoughts. Memories of Bill's mother, Carol, filled Martha's mind. Carol had always been warm, inviting them for holidays, even staying to help after Amy was born. The news of her sudden illness had truly shocked Martha. Yet, Bill had been vague about the details, simply mentioning a heart problem. As they approached Carol's quiet residential street, Martha noticed something striking. Carol's garden, once neglected, was now beautifully maintained, blooming with vibrant roses and fresh flowers. And there, tucked in a corner, was a small red bicycle, just Amy's size. Whose bicycle was it? A tremor of unease ran through Martha. Parking a short distance away, Martha checked her reflection. She had dressed carefully, in Bill's favorite blue dress, her hair done. Everything was to please him, to recapture what they had. But as she and Amy began to walk, they met Helen Wilson, a longtime friend of Carol's. "Why, if it isn't Martha?" Helen exclaimed, genuinely surprised. "It's wonderful that Bill's mother has recovered. I saw her at the supermarket last week looking so energetic." Martha's world tilted. Recovered? Bill had said Carol was barely out of bed. "And those children," Helen continued, "so cute. Especially the little boy, he's so lively, cuddling up to his grandmother." Children? Bill was with other children? Martha's mind raced, a cold dread seizing her. She thanked Helen quickly, pulling Amy along, her heart pounding. Mom, is Grandma well? Amy asked. It seems so, Martha murmured, her thoughts a tangled mess of disbelief and dawning understanding. A few dozen meters from Carol's house, Martha paused. She needed to tell Karen. We've arrived. Something strange is going on. I'll contact you later. Karen's immediate reply, let me know what happens no matter what, was a small anchor in Martha's stormy emotions. Taking a deep breath, Martha told herself there must be some misunderstanding. Amy squeezed her hand, her eyes shining with anticipation. As they reached the white front door, Martha noticed it was slightly ajar. From inside, cheerful voices echoed, Bill's, an unknown woman's, and Carol's, her laughter too energetic for a sick person. Amy excitedly tried to move forward, but Martha instinctively held her back. Wait a moment, she whispered, her intuition screaming. Something was terribly wrong. Amy, sensing her mother's tension, looked up, confused. What's wrong? Martha chose her words carefully. Let's first see what's happening inside. Amy obeyed, peeking through the crack. A few seconds later, her innocent face crumpled. She turned back, pulling Martha's sleeve, her voice trembling. Mom, take a peek. Martha bent down. What she saw confirmed her darkest fears. The living room bathed in sunlight, Bill on the sofa, an unfamiliar blonde woman nestled beside him, his arm around her waist. At their feet, a boy of about 5 played with blocks. Carol emerged from the kitchen, not frail but vibrant, carrying lemonade. Bill, Jessica, here's some lemonade, Carol said. Noah, I brought cookies for you too. The little boy, Noah, jumped with joy, calling Carol Grandma. Jessica, Noah, and then the words that would forever etch themselves into Martha's memory. Daddy, play with me more, Noah pleaded, patting Bill's knee. Bill smiled, that gentle smile Martha knew so well, a smile once meant for her and Amy. Sure, son, Bill said, stroking Noah's hair. Son. The word ripped through Martha's heart like a jagged blade. Bill had called this child his son. Her knees trembled. Bill leaned in and kissed Jessica, a natural, everyday gesture of deep intimacy. Amy's small voice trembled. Mommy? Martha instinctively covered her daughter's mouth. Shh, she whispered, tears welling in her own eyes. She needed time, just a moment to process this crushing betrayal. Martha gently led Amy away, seeking the shadows of some nearby bushes. Was that Daddy? Amy asked, her voice on the verge of breaking. Who are those people? Why did Daddy call that boy son? Martha's mind was in turmoil, but she had to be strong for Amy. I don't know, Amy, but I'm going to find out. Her smartphone in hand, she returned to the door, her hand shaking as she pressed record, capturing the intimate family scene inside. Bill playing with Noah, Jessica smiling, Carol looking on with satisfaction. A perfect family picture, without Martha and Amy. And then, Carol's voice, clear on the recording. Bill, I'm so happy you have your real family now. You should have left that woman earlier. How many years have I been telling you? She's not right for you. Jessica is the woman who deserves you. Martha's chest ached with a pain she'd never known. Had Bill's mother never truly accepted her? All these years, had she been secretly advising her son to leave? Bill's voice. I know, Mom, but it's not easy. I'm consulting with a lawyer about how to divorce Martha, but please don't tell her anything yet. Not until everything is settled. Jessica's worried voice. What if she finds out and learns about this? And Bill's confident reply, a dagger to Martha's soul. Don't worry, Martha doesn't suspect anything. She's a simple and trusting woman. If I just mention Mother's illness, she'll believe anything. Anger, hot and fierce, surged through Martha. Simple, trusting. Was he treating her like a fool? The truth of how her husband saw her was devastating. And then, the final blow. "So when are you going to talk about Amy?" Jessica asked. "She's your daughter, right?" Bill shrugged, his voice dismissive. "Martha will get custody. I have a new family now. Noah is enough for me." Martha stopped the recording, her hands trembling, tears of fury, not sadness, streaming down her face. "Let's go," Martha said quietly, returning to Amy, who was now sobbing in the bushes. "Aren't we going to see Daddy?" Amy asked, confused. "Not right now, but it's going to be okay. Mom is here for you." They returned to the car, unnoticed. Amy cried heartbrokenly in the back seat. Martha turned, taking her daughter's small hand. "Amy, listen. We are strong. No matter what happens, I will protect you. It's hard right now, but we will definitely overcome this. Daddy made the wrong choice. But that's not your fault. Absolutely not your fault." Martha started the car. The pain of betrayal was raw, but a clear path forward began to emerge. She called Karen, her voice surprisingly steady, the strange calmness that comes after shock. Karen gasped. "I can't believe it. That heartless man. So what are you going to do now?" "I don't know," Martha answered honestly, "but I'll choose the best path for Amy and for myself." Karen urged her to come back, to stay with her, but Martha needed a night alone to think. She found a motel, carried her sleeping daughter inside, and then faced herself in the mirror. Her eyes were red and swollen, but in them, a light of fierce determination burned. "You are strong," she told herself. "You can overcome this." She scrolled through her phone contacts and found a name: Elizabeth Cohen, a lawyer she'd met through a colleague. Martha took a deep breath and made the call. The next morning, Elizabeth Cohen, a composed woman with an air of both strictness and kindness, waited for them at her office. Martha handed over her smartphone, the video evidence undeniable. Elizabeth reviewed it, listening calmly. "This is sufficient evidence," she finally said. "Martha, let me explain what you should do now." That afternoon, Martha dropped Amy off with her mother, Judith, a small, strong woman who immediately sensed something was wrong. "I'll explain later, Mom," Martha promised, kissing Amy. "Mom will be back soon." Martha then met Elizabeth again, confirming she had transferred half of their joint account to a separate one and gathered all important documents. "Good," Elizabeth nodded. "Now let's call Bill." Martha's hands trembled as she dialed. "Martha, I'm busy right now," Bill said on the third ring. Martha, surprisingly calm, lied. "I'll be on a business trip for 3 days. Amy is at Mom's place." Bill sounded relieved. "Perfect," Elizabeth said. "This buys us time. Tomorrow let's prepare the documents." 2 days later, armed with paperwork and a renewed sense of purpose, Martha and Elizabeth stood before Carol's house. Bill opened the door, surprise and anxiety flashing across his face. "Martha, why are you here?" he stammered, looking around anxiously. "Hello, Bill." Martha's voice was as cold as ice. "We need to talk." "Now is not a good time. Mother is sick," Bill tried. Martha's sarcasm was cutting. "Or is it because Jessica and Noah are here?" Bill's face went white. Just then, Carol appeared, flustered at the sight of Martha. "You, what are you doing here?" "Mother-in-law, I'm glad to see you're looking well," Martha said calmly. Elizabeth stepped forward. "I'm Elizabeth Cohen, attorney at law representing Martha Carter." Jessica appeared, instinctively hiding Noah behind her. "Everyone, I have something to say," Martha declared, stepping into the house. "First, Bill, these are divorce petition papers, and this is an application for sole custody of Amy." Bill stammered. "Martha, if we talk, you'll understand." Martha looked him straight in the eye. "Understand what? That you betrayed me, had a relationship with this woman, and even had a child with her? That you lied about your mother's illness and led a double life?" Elizabeth added calmly. "We have evidence. Everything is recorded." Martha turned back to Bill, her voice trembling but full of newfound strength. "Amy and I don't need someone like you in our lives. Goodbye." 3 months later, a new chapter had begun. Amy happily ran around her new room in their bright, pale pink apartment. "It really is lovely," Martha said, a genuine smile on her face. The divorce had been swift, Martha securing half of their joint property and full custody of Amy. A promotion at the hospital had eased her financial worries. Martha's mother, Judith, was a constant source of support, and her sister Laura visited every weekend, filling their lives with laughter and movie outings. Karen and her family also continued to be a warm presence, a true family, not by blood, but by love and loyalty. A year after the betrayal, Martha's apartment buzzed with laughter and music, celebrating Amy's 8th birthday. Friends, family, and loved ones surrounded Amy as she blew out the candles on her cake. Martha watched her daughter, proud of her resilience, of their shared journey. Outside, in the apartment parking lot, a car stopped. Bill, looking tired and defeated, stared up at the building. His affair family had crumbled. Jessica had left him for another man, taking Noah. Carol, his mother, was truly ill now, hospitalized. Medical expenses and the burden of his choices had financially cornered him. He had tried to contact Martha for reconciliation, only to be met with firm rejection. Today, he had come just to see Amy from afar, a shadow of the man he once was. A man who had lost everything. From the window, Bill could see Amy and Martha, smiling. Amy, surrounded by friends, her bright smile back, fully adapted to her new life. Martha, confident and strong, watching over her daughter. Bill stood still, realizing the immense magnitude of what he had so carelessly thrown away. Amy finished opening her presents, ran to Martha. "Mom, thank you. This is the best birthday ever." Martha embraced her daughter, looking around at the circle of people who supported them. "Amy," Martha said gently, her voice full of wisdom. "Remember this. Family isn't just about blood ties. Love and sincerity create a true family." Outside the window, Bill's car slowly drove away, fading into the distance. This story of Martha reminds us that true strength is not always found in grand gestures, but in the quiet determination to rebuild, to protect, and to redefine what family means. It's a testament to the power of a mother's love and the resilience of the human spirit. What can you learn from Martha's journey? Perhaps it's about trusting your instincts when something feels off. Or maybe it's about the importance of having a strong support system, friends and family who stand by you. And certainly it's about understanding that betrayal can be a painful turning point, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. Martha's story is a powerful example of reclaiming your life and building a new future based on love, integrity, and self-respect. If this story inspired you, give us a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to ABC English Story for more meaningful content like this.